Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Time to talk about a couple more momentum stocks now with Mike Vodicka, our momentum stock analyst here at Zacks.com. Here's one that I haven't heard talked about for a while, at least a couple of weeks now, since all of the consternation in the auto industry. Ford Motor Company, ticker symbol F.
Yeah, Ford has been in the news a lot lately because I mean the auto story has been big in general over the last year and a half or so.
Right.
But then more recently, Ford has really started to distinguish themselves as being a leader in the industry because a number of issues. But they've returned to profitability. They're cutting expenses. They're posting really great numbers, and the company has a lot of momentum right now.
I was being facetious when I said I hadn't heard about them in a while.
Oh yeah, of course. But Ford's been around for over 100 years. This company was started in 1903. They have a market cap of $37 billion, so this is still a big company even though they've been kicked around a little bit in the last year. January 28th, fourth quarter results were very strong. We saw sales up 22% from last year, sales of $35 billion. It's a huge number.
Yep.
They had a nice earnings surprise too. Earnings of 43 cents per share. That was 80% better than the Zacks consensus estimates. If you take a look at Ford's earnings, you can see the improvement that they've made over the last year. 4 quarters ago, they lost 75 cents. 3 quarters ago, they lost 21 cents. Last quarter, they earned 26 cents. This quarter, they earned 43 cents. So that's a very nice, smooth trend higher.
That's interesting considering, you know, what's going on with that industry and the economy.
Yeah, I mean, they've really, like I said, they've really distinguished themselves. Their cost-cutting measures have been big, too. Fourth quarter, they were able to shave off $500 million of operating expenses from last year. And then check this out. For the year, their expenses were down $5.1 billion from last year. So there's obviously a lot of massive restructuring going on with Ford, and it's working out for them.
Yep.
From a valuation perspective, shares are trading at 13 times current year earnings right now. And if you take a look at the chart, we saw shares of Ford bottom out in March at about $1.50, and recently they topped off at $12. So they've pumped out some big gains.
All right. GSI Commerce, GSIC, ticker symbol. It's another company that you have covered lately. They're in the e-commerce space.
Yeah, that's right. This is a company that basically provides e-commerce software, a software suite, and also e-commerce services to retailers. Like Adidas is one of their customers. They also work with Timberland. They do have a number of high-profile customers, but this is kind of a macro-level play on what we're seeing in the consumer environment, where more consumers are getting on the internet and becoming more comfortable with those kinds of electronic transactions, moving away from brick and mortar, which tends to be a little bit inconvenient. This company's been around since 1986, and they have a market cap of $1.3 billion, so this is a well-established technology company, even though they are kind of cutting edge in the technology front. Their third quarter results, they reported at the end of January. We saw some nice sales gains. Or, I'm sorry, sales weren't awesome, or up 2% year over year. That's definitely respectable, but they did have the nice earnings beat of 61%. So that was solid. Cash flow from operations, they bumped that up to $90 million from $52 million last year. So that speaks of operational efficiencies. That's a nice number. Then, of course, we've seen some upward pressure on estimates. The current year estimate is actually projecting a loss of 6 cents, but the next year estimate is up 10 cents in the last month or so, projecting earnings of 26 cents. So they are expected to return to profitability next year. The way this is played out on the chart, we saw shares of GSIC bottom out again with the market in March right at about $5.50, and since then they've crossed the $26 mark. Now, this isn't exactly an inexpensive stock. It is trading at a multiple of about 100 times, but there's no doubt the momentum is up right now.
Really? Still going to go up even higher?
Yeah, I mean, they should, if shares do pull back from where they're at right now, they're trading about 23. There's a long-term trend line at 21, so we could see a bounce off that.
Okay, that's interesting too. Do you own either of these two?
No, I don't.
All right, check out more Zacks Rank stock pick ideas for you on our homepage at Zacks.com. We put 4 new ones up there each day for you, one in each of the investing categories featured on Zacks.com. And with Mike Vodicka, I'm Terry Ruffalo.